it's Debbie with Kip's Corner. Welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. Thanks for joining me. So today I thought I'd do something a little different. Instead of a make, I'm going to show you a haul. It's called Vintage Market Days. It's an organization that puts on these kind of like a trade show event where it's at a local convention center. So it's a huge venue, tons of booths, hundreds of booths. Some are handcrafted booths, some are curated items, vintage and antique pieces, things made from vintage and antique pieces, like pillows made from old quilts, those kinds of things. Some are furniture booths. There's food booths there that are like homemade, brews, like I think, like olive oil. There was an flavored olive oil booth, So it's a wide gamut of different kinds of booths and different kinds of products. But the theme is vintage market. So it's really a fun event. I think they have it twice a year here in the area. I can usually get there once a year. Usually something else is going on and I can only get there, I can't get there to one or the other of them. So it was today, which is Sunday, and you're seeing this on Tuesday, so a couple days ago. And it was over the weekend. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I went on Sunday, and I'm going to show you what I got. So this year, I went looking very specifically. I was looking for items, unique pieces that I could use as a base or a starting point for a mixed media assemblage project. So I was very much looking for, not necessarily flat pieces, but pieces that would give me, a base to kind of start on. So with that in mind, I will show you what I got. And not all of these are base pieces because, you see things and, and then you go. Right here in front, the price on these paintbrushes was really good. I should have gotten more than just one. And I already have a couple from Patty Lang at Sacred Mementos. And then I've got one or two from an estate sale. So I'm going to probably over the summer do a mixed media paintbrush series where I kind of do some different things to all of them. Or maybe not all of them, maybe most of them. I don't know. We'll see. It's still brewing in my head, but that's the idea. These were a really good price. I actually should have gotten more than just one, but I just got one. Leave some for somebody else. This is not wood. These rulers usually are either wood or metal, depending on how old they are. So this one is not as old. It's plastic. But that intrigued me because I wanted to know, I thought it'd be fun to play with alcohol inks or maybe even some acrylic ink or some other kind of colorant to see if I can color these since it's more of a plastic. But once it's used and on a piece, it'd be fun to see how this breaks, what that looks like. I will always pick up these rulers as the wood ones because I love them. I have a ton of them. They're different colors. I mean, let's be fair here. They're all different colors, and so different ones work for different pieces. But anyway, this one is plastic. And so I thought it would be a really good one to play with and experiment with and see what happens. And it was a good price. So, okay. This kind of goes along with the vendor that I've gotten the metal cuts of, like the birds and things like that for the bird journal I just finished. I've had butterflies, birds, trees. So if you look back on my videos at some of the covers of some of my journals, you'll see these rusted metal pieces. That vendor is no longer operating, but this show is the show that I had found them at. So I did find this, and it's a feather. And for a long, tall, skinny journal, I thought that would be really fun for the front, depending on what's going on the inside. So it's not quite as rusted as some of the ones that I have found in the past, but I think I could do some more to that. So pretty feather. And that's really all they had, or I would have gotten other shapes. Next up is this, I don't know what this is, lid, sifter lid. I don't know. It looks kind of like a lid to me, but it's got this mesh. So that looks like a sifter to me. So I have no idea what this is, but it's got some gorgeous rusting in it. And I thought this would be a really nice beginning piece for a smaller assemblage, mixed media assemblage piece here kind of on the inside. So yeah, I picked that up. Same with this. This is just an old tray, right? But the back side, it's got a nice pattern on it. And I really thought either going this way or perhaps this way. This surface here in the middle would be great for an assemblage piece. So something different. If you've seen, when I'm looking for unusual pieces as bases, if you've seen some of my past mixed media pieces, I've got one where I created on top of a fan blade. One of the ones that I just recently sold was created on an old wooden silkscreen squeegee board. You know, it's the board that you squeeze the ink through on the screen. Trying to think if I've done pieces on washboard or old washboards before. I have a couple of those washboards too. I've got a project that I want to do on one of those. So I'm always looking for unique things, common, but unusual things to sort of start out with as the base. And when I see it and I pick it up and I think, if I can kind of visualize how it might work, then if the price is right, I will go ahead and pick it up. So I can see how something pretty cool on this could happen. Then I'll get to these in just a second. They're nice and big. These little cards. They're marbled paper, handmade marbled paper, cut down, and then attached to these debossed note cards. And it's just a note card with the envelope. It's just a cute, it was a great idea. I thought, oh, what a wonderful idea. This is the perfect size to tuck into a journal somewhere. Or even for me to use, I always put thank you cards in my boxes when I send them out to use as a thank you card or whatever. So I just picked up a couple of those. Next, books. So when you go to these kinds of events, or at least my experience is that books in particular, antique books or even vintage books, are priced very differently across different booths. And I came across one booth today that had an excellent price on booths. I would not normally really spend the time looking at books unless something just really catches my attention at this type of event, just because I can get books pretty much anywhere, right? I can get them from the estate sales I go to, or I can get them from some of the online sales I go to, and book covers too. So I'm not necessarily looking for books, but this booth had a wonderful price, like a 3 for price. It was a great deal. There was another booth there that I didn't even stop when I saw the price of the books. They were very proud of them. So you just never know. And that's kind of the case with all of the things. You sort of have to go into there knowing what you're willing to pay for something, or knowing what things that you can get other places would also be similarly priced at, or similar items, what their pricing would be sort of for this area. These booths come from all over, and so what's available in my area may be something different than their area, and so their prices might be different, if that makes sense. Anyway, and I completely stayed away. I was so proud of myself. I stayed away from looking at any of the antique linens, quilts, things like that, because I don't need any of that at all, and I don't need books either. But like I said, really good price, and this particular one caught my attention. Now, it's had some tape on the front, obviously, but the way I use these, that'll be covered. And the back is great. And it's just isn't that pretty? It's just really pretty. This is it's a romance called Denounced from 1896. The paper is a pulpy paper, so it's not necessarily something where, I might use the paper for something, but it's not, they're not going to go into a journal. It's the cover. It's all about the cover. And this looks like a companion book. They're the same size, and I think the same here. Yep, 1896. Just different colors. Also had tape on the front. Again, not worried about that. That doesn't bother me because I can cover that up. And it's got some really pretty colors in it. So these two I picked up for the covers. Well, all three of them, actually. Let's be honest. This is the third one. And it's just got this gorgeous, I don't know if you can see that, debossing. Really pretty. Back's got some nice grunge on it. Again, perfect for the types of things that I do. Now, this one also has the bonus of some illustrations on the inside and beautiful foxing on the paper. And this paper doesn't feel as pulpy. It feels like maybe it's a mix, but it's got some great illustrations that'll be fun to harvest. Look at the puppy dog. There's more, but look at that. Look at the foxing. Oops. Isn't that pretty? And there's some more. There's some more illustrations in here. So this one kind of had the bonus, right, of the illustrations on the inside. Really pretty. The coloring on the inside papers is really nice. And this one's older, I think. It was in a library, the library of a Bible school, Clear Creek Mountain Preachers Bible School. And it's from 1858, so it is a little bit older. And it's beautiful on the inside, beautiful on the outside. So this one is just a really nice book. That feels like it's, is it stuck? Ah. The end papers are nothing to get too excited about, but it's pretty. Very pretty. Pretty blue. Ooh, that one's just been ripped. Oh, that was where the library card was. Yeah, it's been ripped up. There you can also tell that it was in a library. So anyway, those three books. Great price on them. Three for price. Well worth it. Next up is two more. These are both metal pieces. This one is a lot heavier and a lot thicker. This is almost like if you've ever seen or felt like a metal sign, like a stop sign or some of those, yield signs. This is kind of feels like this is made that way. And it's got this cut in here of this gorgeous shape, beautifully colored. We've got silver and more rust on the back. So either side could be used here. And this would be a nice starting point. And this particular piece I thought would look good if it were on a wood base that is a different color to where that cut shows through. And then I build an assemblage from there. It's about 8 7/8 by 13 1/2. So it's a nice size for a starting point. And then this one, this is thinner. This was like what are those tiles? It's got the little holes where they were attached, tiles, squares. And this paint that's still here is not going anywhere. But at one point, the whole thing, it looks like it was painted white. It's not white anymore. Lots of rust. The back side also is pretty rusty. So that's a wonderful piece to start off with as well as a base and kind of build something from there. This one it's about 12 1/4. Just nearly square. So kind of a 12-inch square, a little more than a 12-inch square. So that'll be a nice piece to start off with as well. So I ended up finding, of course I always, I got a few things aside from that. Oh, one other thing I want to show you. This is not related to mixed media or junk journals, but this is a little wooden stand with a slit in it, simple thing. And then this is like wood burned into the plaque. And it's my favorite Winnie the Pooh quote. All of the Winnie the Pooh quotes are my favorites, but this one is my first favorite. And it's if ever there is a tomorrow when we are not together, there is something you must always remember. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. But the most important thing is, even if we are apart, I'll always be with you. Love it. Winnie the Pooh. So, that's going to go on my desk somewhere. It's nothing to do with, fighting things. And it's not vintage either. So this is an example of a booth. They had a lot of different things, but this was one area of their booth where they had a bunch of these kinds of quotes and things from different books with a little image and on these cards and these bases. So, more of a craft, I guess, but lovely nonetheless. And it'll go on my desk somewhere. All right, that's kind of it. My little haul video of some of the yummy kind of fun things that I'm going to play with. So you will probably see a lot of these coming back up very soon. This would probably look really good on a boho journal, don't you think? So I'll be thinking about that. My toys, that's my toys for the weekend. I do hope you enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun going and attending the event. And like I said, I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back.